Okay, this photo was sent in by a subscriber of the channel, and his name is Art Watt. So thank you, Art Watt, for sending in this photo for me to draw. And if anybody else is interested in me drawing them, make sure you go to my tutorials page on my website. There'll be a link in the description, and then submit a photo on that little form that I created for that, and we'll go from there. But what I'm going to do on this one is just do a more detailed sketch, because I tried doing it on the fly and it didn't look all that great. And so this time I'm just gonna do a more detailed sketch. Plus, he's kind of a fan of the video, so he may appreciate a more detailed sketch. And I could exaggerate this a lot more too, just for the fun of it. The photo is kind of difficult to work with, so it's like the worst. Don't take this the wrong way, Mr. Art Watt, but this is like the worst type of photo to work from, in that the camera is way below the subject looking up. And so what that does is it distorts the perspective. And at the same time, it could be fun. So we're definitely looking at a head that's taller than it is wide. So that's the very first thing I want to exaggerate. When I want to stretch it out, make it more skinny this way and more tall that way. And then the second thing I'm looking for is where the face is divided between the eyes and the chin and the eyes and the forehead. So there's definitely more space between the eyes and the bottom of the chin. So I can stretch that out if I want. Okay, there's my sketch. Okay, one thing I'm noticing is that the eyebrow comes here. I'm seeing a line here for the eye. So these lines are connected. The eyebrow here, it's almost like a zigzag. Eyebrow on this side, same thing, it comes down, connects with the eye here. It's kind of a zigzag pattern. I don't see that on most faces, so I'm gonna try to add that in there. The nose, I definitely decided to exaggerate it, make it longer than it is in the photo. Because we've made the whole head longer, it just makes sense to make other features longer. We can definitely see underneath the nose a lot, so making sure that we can see underneath the nose, the bulb of the nose at the end. This is going to be the shape for the mustache. These are the smile lines. And because I turned it a little bit, I want to show the jaw on this side. Another thing I'm noticing is the widest point. So the cheeks here are the widest point. Right there, that's the widest point. And then it comes down, and I want to make it like a cool line for that. Okay, so then we got the ear, which is very low because the camera is down here looking up. Okay, and I think that's an interesting sketch. The only thing I'm going to add here is the brow shape. There's a pronounced brow. There's two pronounced wrinkles here, and then you've got the cranium. Okay, I'm seeing. That's another thing. When I start sketching someone, at some point in the sketch, I can see a good drawing in there somewhere, if that makes sense. So I'm starting to see the good drawing. Now let's see if I can really make the good drawing come out. All right. Almost like a sculptor. It's when the sculptor looks at a block of stone or clay, and they can see the good sculpture inside the clay, and then they just have to chip away everything that's not the good sculpture. Well, it's different but the same for artists. I can kind of see a good drawing in here. Let's see what percentage of that good drawing in my mind I can get. So what I'm doing here is like, I'm thinking straights and curves now. You read like the old style, the old time Disney artist would preach straights against curves, make a drawing dynamic. And so, I mean, if it worked for Disney, which those artists were fantastic, it'll work for anybody. So as you can see, I made super straight lines here for the eyebrow, but of course the curved lines for the eye ball. And then there's some straight lines in the corner, and those next to each other make it look better than using all curved lines. But I can use some curved lines here, and there's area for a curved line. Here's a straight line. Now we're gonna bring this eyebrow around. And I'm realizing when I did the sketch, this line connects with this line. And so I want this shape to sort of connect. It doesn't have to connect perfectly, but sort of connect. I added some straight lines in there. I don't necessarily see the straight lines in his eyebrow, but I added them anyway because I think they might look cool. We're gonna definitely indicate the brow, but I'm not gonna draw a complete line because that's not what I see. It's not a super bold line in the photo. And then we definitely need this prominent wrinkle. There's another wrinkle here. And then another one. There's even a cross wrinkle. Okay, so now I'm gonna draw a little line just to save my place for the bridge of the nose. And now let's head to the other side and get this other eye. And I've already kind of exaggerated a little bit, and so at this point I just draw what I see. Another thing is there's space between these two eyes in the photo. They're kind of wide. So in a super average face, an art instructor might tell you like there's a space for one eye between the eyes. So if you see if I see there's slightly more space between the eyes than an eye, in other words, check this out. This is how I would measure it. Just take my pen, boom. And then I'm holding that level of measurement, and now you see there's a larger space between these two eyes than just an eye. So that's definitely wide. That's in the photo and my drawing. So here we go with this. The eyes are kind of dark, so I'm using a lot of ink. I would assume he has brown eyes, but it's hard to tell from the photo. Okay, now let's get get this other eyebrow in there. Okay, that's the brow shape there, just indicating it. Alrighty, let's see. Now this bag under the eye over there. Alright, so far so good. Alright, now we're doing the nostrils. At this point, it's kind of easy because since I did a more detailed sketch, I could just follow the sketch and but I'm always trying to improve the sketch and the drawing as I go. But still, there are certain times you can just follow the sketch and the sketch has already mapped it out for me. The mustache on there, lips. Smile lines. All right, now I'm going to switch to my larger marker, which is a Tombow. Let's see what I can do. Okay, here we've got the sideburns and the side of his hair. The cheek is kind of indented, and there's a line there that kind of indicates. All right, now here we go. Brow. And this cheek line is kind of connected. So I guess I'm seeing a lot of connecting shapes on this face. Okay, now we have the cranium area. Ear shape, I'm seeing that the earlobe is wider than the top of the ear, at least in this perspective of this photo. So on this side, you can only see the earlobe. And of course, there's some wild hairs. Kind of pulling the neck a little bit out to the side. hope I don't go below the camera too much, but I'm drawing his collar of his shirt. And he's got some long hair in the back, so I'm going to indicate that. Couple more wild hairs. So far, so good. So what do you think so far? That is a drawing of Art Watt. He submitted this photo, so thank you very much, Mr. Art Watt.